I believe that those on the other page could not hear me. So, hey everybody on the Cat's Whiskers and YouTube channel, Facebook page, During Tracy's and Where the Wild Souls Gather. You are getting a view of my painting here today. And if you are here, then you are on the Crafters Club and you're getting to see me, and I will turn my page down in a minute. I could not get it for some reason to dual show at all today. So hopefully this is going to work. Hi, Andrea. Hopefully you've got good sound and you can hear me and there's no echoing or anything backwards and forwards. Me and the technical difficulties. But anyway, so I am Tracy Abbey from the Cat's Whiskers Art Studio here in Lodi, California. And today we are going to be working on a red barn. So this is the red barn and the tracer is up. Well, actually, tracer is not up. The link is up in my guide. Oh, good. The sound is working. Thank you so much, Andrea. And hi, Catherine. Thanks for joining. So my guide is guide number 32, The Cat's Whiskers, on the Crafters Club. And in there, it gives you a link to my ArtStudio page, The Cat's Whiskers. And if you message me on The Cat's Whiskers with your email address, I will actually send you a PDF with the supply list, as well as the tracer and some other cool goodies. So make sure that you message me and let me know, or drop in the comments tracer. And if you do that, I will make sure that I message you and make sure you get the PDF and everything. So we are going along with the same theme that we've been working on. We have a couple, I don't know if you saw them in the comments, but we were working on this before. Hopefully I don't mess up the camera. But there, we had done this cow the last time. And well, the first time actually, and then we were working on a bull. So I have a bull that is coming together and a rooster that is coming together. It's just got to get its tail feathers in, so that's going to be up soon as well. And for the rest of the farm theme, we have a pig and a donkey that are all being previewed on the During Tracy's on a Tuesday, which is my group that I do with Tracy Magin, and we banter backwards and forwards the During Tracy's, the two Tracys. So those are on that page. This cow is on the Crafters Club with you because we did that together before, and today this one is exclusive over here, previewed for the first time on the on the Crafters Club, and this is what it looks like. All on the bottom here is going to be sunflowers. So we are going to do some paper sunflowers, but we are doing that same background that you see at the top there. So I'm going to point my camera down so that you guys can look at my canvas and not me, and you can actually see what we're up to. So bear with me for a second as we do this. Hopefully we don't mess everything up because technology has been crazy. But whoops, there we are. Oh, chords and angles. There. Hopefully you can see. And I will check the comments periodically and see what you guys are up to. So okay, so on this background, we are just going to use the same two colors that we did the last time. It was a metallic gold, and we used a pearl white. So those two, and then just a regular white. So that is what we are up to. Hopefully this is not glaring at you, but so pearl white, metallic gold, and a regular white. Whoops. Okay, and just a palette knife, and we're just going to scrape this on and just start adding it to our background. So hopefully this is not too noisy. I know I went back and listened to one of the videos and I was like, nails on a chalkboard. I hope this is not too annoying for anybody. We want to get this all on here nicely. Just blend it together with the palette knife because we don't want it to actually smear together. We want to see the distinct lines and palette textures. See how the knife is actually making the patterns on the board. We want that. And we want to see the difference between where the gold and the white and the pearl are. We don't want to blend too much. So just scrape that on. Turn the board. And you can go in all different directions. The messier it is, the better. Remember, we're going to take scrap of paper, because this is a mixed media project, and we're going to be Mod Podging that over the top. So don't worry too much about where your color is going. Just look at it and make sure that it's pleasing to your eye. I want a little bit more gold. Kind of want your strokes to show and lines to show because that gives it movement on your canvas. Oops, I got a cat hair in there. That's fitting, isn't it? With my ArtStudio being the cat's whiskers. I do have 4 cats, so it wouldn't surprise me that there's a cat hair in the middle of my painting. Come on. Maybe we can get it out. No, maybe not. The lucky thing is I did get it out. We don't care about the background. We want it messy, so it doesn't matter that we're scraping on it and showing more lines. The more lines you see, the better. And if you can go quickly and just roughly, it is, and not think about it, it's even better. When you start to think about it, I think then we take the colors out. There's such pretty patterns that just form by themselves. So. I just want to go all the way to the edges. And then I will just run a paintbrush on the very edge to smooth out the side so there's no major big clumps, and I'll show you that in a second. Just fill this part in. So where's everybody watching from today? Let me know where you're watching. I'm in Woodbridge, wine country, Lodi, California. It is beautiful, sunny 70s degree weather today. I am loving it. Kids are out playing on the homestead because we do have 2 acres. We homestead and hobby farm out here. So we have chickens and we do have horses. They aren't on the property though because we just have 2 acres here. So, but we do have horses. Anybody watching who also has livestock? Let's see. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Jenny. Oh, Myrtle Beach. I'm jealous. South Carolina. It is so beautiful out there. I have a friend who lives in Myrtle Beach, and she is always posting her toes in the sand. She lives right near the ocean. Oh, I miss the ocean so bad. I know I'm in California, so it's kind of funny for me to say I miss the ocean, but I am a 2-hour drive from San Francisco, which is the closest ocean to me. So not that close to the ocean. So there, I'm just going to take a paintbrush and just smooth kind of the edges where there's thick, like clumps. I don't want to smooth the painting too much, but I don't want these thick clumps on the edges to dry. So, and I do like a little bit of the paint to be on the edge around the canvas. I sometimes will go back and paint these edges because we're doing this in under an hour on here. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I will go back on my own time and paint the sides of my canvas. I like the sides of my canvas to match the front of my canvas. But for the meantime, you can just spread any clumps that are on the edges down onto the side. Get rid of those. I've got a little bit of a lump in there. We'll get rid of that. And that's it. That's the background. So just palette knifed, super rough, thick, bold. And we'll throw that into there. Get rid of that because we do need that palette. We are going to get our Mod Podge now and use that to glue down our papers. And the paper pack that I have, I just bought this from Walmart. It was $8.99 and it's all rustic barn kind of papers because I wanted my theme to carry across. So I've got rustic barn woods and bricks and some floral and stuff. So they're very bold and pretty papers. Just a range of, oh, that is a different one. There's a range of different colors, but they all tie in together, and that way every single one of my paintings will kind of sort of match between the background and the palette color. So choose whatever pack that you would like and create it how you would like to create it. Actually Tracy, imagine from that paints with me on the Duo and Tracy's, she has done hers all in a very boho look, and it's so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it's adorable. So yeah, I am going to turn my hair dryer on for a second here, hopefully, if I've got it plugged in right. Hopefully. Whoopsie daisy. What is going on here? Okay, let's make sure this is plugged in right. And then excuse the noise for a second while we just dry this background, because we are limited on time and we want to get this done for you guys. Okay, that should do the trick and at least get us a dry surface to work on, or dry enough surface to work on. It's not completely dry, but it will at least not smudge and mess up completely. is we are going to take some carbon paper and trace our barn on there now. So I buy these packs of carbon paper on Amazon, and I think I put the link in the last time in my guide, but you can get them off of Amazon. It comes like 200 in a pack. I think it was like $6. It was very reasonable. I'm just gonna put that down on there and take a pencil and just trace over my barn and kind of where I want my clouds to go, just to give me a rough idea of where I'm putting down some color and where I'm going to put my Mod Podged papers on. I love those old barns and driving through the countryside and seeing the pretty red barns. Anybody else out there that loves those too? It's like my favorite thing to see. I love barn quilts as well. And we're going to put some foliage down the bottom here, and then sunflowers, paper sunflowers all on the bottom. This would actually make, oops, a pretty cool gift for Mother's Day, birthdays for the ladies in your home. I'm going to put it in my kitchen. So. Hey Sharon. I think I said it. Oh, hey Linda. I think I said hello to everybody. Oh, hi Diane from Indiana. How's the weather in Indiana? You guys still getting snow? I hope not. I know it's snowing in Wyoming. I used to live in Wyoming, and I've got a lot of friends that live out there still, and oh my gosh, they are just being beaten by a storm lately that is just not stopping. They've had snow every day for almost 8 days straight now. A lot of my friends are like, that's it. We're done with Wyoming. I'm like, uh-huh. They're born and raised Wyoming, seven generations. They are not going to be leaving Wyoming anytime soon. Die hard Wyomingites, but yeah, I don't blame them. That weather can get a bit much at times. It wore on a little thin on me some days, especially farming out there. So again, I'm just going to take some Mod Podge. And I'll give myself a good blob over there. Put that there in case I need it. And we're just taking, like I said, a pack of scrapbook paper, so you've got a variety of different colors to work with. Every time I tear mine, I keep it in this little container. So I have all my scraps, because you never know if you're going to want the little scraps, especially when you're doing the farm animals. Those come in really handy. The little pieces were saving me yesterday when I was doing my rooster painting. I needed every little tiny piece and scrap to do the toes and the feathers and all the goodies. So yeah. All right, let's make sure that you can still see. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Oh my goodness. Hope I didn't hurt your ears. Oh. Make sure that you guys can see my canvas properly. Okay. And we've got the barn traced on. And I'm just going to find a bunch of the barnwood. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to make it where I use a bunch of the barnwood type shapes I like. So they're already square. So I'm just going to, let's see, do I want more flowers or do I want more of the wood? I think I'm going to go just a tear across there. And if you just give it a little fold, it'll tear a little bit easier for you. Pinch it with your fingers, you'll get a little bit of a straighter line. Do that so I can get this straight edge there. There we are, that's that. And you want to use like a cheapy paintbrush that you don't mind getting glue on, because the Mod Podge tends to wreck your brushes. And then I'm just painting some on the back to get it glued down. And there is our first big piece on. The side wall of our barn goes up. Okay, just paint over the top, nice and thick, and get that to stick down. Get those edges and brush back and forth, and it will soak through your paper well and go. And then I got this nifty tool from the dollar store the other day, and I think it's supposed to be like an imitation Cricut tool. And because I know I have a fancier one for my Cricut Maker, but this one is just $1, so it's nice and cheap, and so I don't mind messing with it and scraping glue. But it works really well for this. Or you can use a credit card or just a plastic, a nice strong piece of plastic, like a plastic, like a credit card, I guess, bank card or that kind of thing. And just get the glue off of that. Keep that there. So that's piece number one. And then let's see. They had a little window in there, and I want some blue, I think, for that window. I don't have any more scraps of the blue. So let's tear some blue. So we'll keep my, oops, my tracer over there so I can see carbon paper that got full of paint. We'll get rid of that. I don't want that all over my end painting. Okay, so we just want a little square of blue. I think tear it a little bit bigger than I wanted so I can get a nice torn edge. And again, just giving it a little fold, pushing it down with your nail a little bit. That will give you a nice straight tear, but not perfectly straight, because we don't want it perfect. Whoops, tore a little bit too much off of there. We want a little bit of that rough white edge, because that's what makes it look so pretty. Okay, glue on the back. And the window is in. And let's get this other roof on here. I think I wanted to use a bit of this brick siding though behind there. I think this brick would look really nice in this big rectangle over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I have enough. I don't really, so I really want to fill that whole patch with it. So let's see if I have some more of that brick. Otherwise I have this one. I think I really like that pink though. Ah, there's a nice big piece of the pink. I think the pink looks better. Yeah. So, and here's a little trick for you that you can use. Is you can take your carbon paper and put it onto your piece that you want to trace, and then you can actually trace, just make sure that I get the whole piece in, you can trace the shape that you're wanting to tear so that you can be more accurate. There, one. And then that way I know exactly where I'm going to fold my paper to make my tears. And I can get these nice brick pieces into my painting. At least it gives you a rough idea of where you want to tear. So it's not all guesswork. Let's see. Like that. Okay, tear a little bit more off over here. These bigger pieces. Match it up. I think that looks pretty good. And then there's where that little hangover part is, so we can tear that out. Let's have a look. That works great. You can even put your Mod Podge down where you're going to be putting your piece. And that will help it to seal it down as well. Anybody else out there who loves mixed media and likes to use Mod Podge and I like to create with all sorts of things. Mostly I use acrylic painting because I do paint parties, but I do love, on a personal level, I use oil pastels because I do a lot of wildlife drawings and pet portraits and things like that. And I use oil pastels and colored pencils for those. And then I love watercolors too. Watercolors was the medium of choice when I was studying art in college. That was my chosen medium, so I do really love watercolors too. We're going to add a little bit of a red glaze over the top of these papers to make our red barn look, because this is not a pink barn. I did not have any red scrapbook papers, and I want to carry the color palette across, but I do want to hint at that red coloring for the red barn. So once this is all dry, we will do that and see that. Oh, you do? You love mixed media too? Okay, it's coming along. Let's get that roof in now. Maybe the siding. Let's see. Kind of want some more brick. Let's get some more brick on there for this little piece that's sticking up. We just need a rectangle, about yay big, I would think. Yeah. Just so it sneaks out between the bushes that we're going to paint in over there. So get ourselves a piece like that. Try and get it straight. Just don't want it perfect, but close as we can get this straight. Tear these little edges so all our edges are torn. And I guess it goes to about there. Oops. A little bit more off. And any really rough edges and stuff, remember you can go back and you can add foliage or some other things over the top to like hide if you've missed a spot. And you can also add other papers in. So don't worry about not having perfect lines or fitting in the shape perfectly. I love these little butterflies on the side. It almost looks like the butterflies joined in. So, and then we have the roof that's going to come over the top there. So I'm going to give that some space so we can add the roof, and I'll just add that little triangle in of the sidewall. Oops, now I'm putting my own hair in the Mod Podge. We've had the cat hair, now we're getting my hair. That's why I braided my hair today. Normally I wear my hair down, but my hair is so super long. It's all the way down to my buttocks, so it gets in the middle of the painting sometimes. I'm like, oh, always painting the ends of my hair. That on nice and thick. We'll just spread the glue up top because we're gonna glue some more pieces on over there, so that'll get us glue up there already. And then we wanted this little triangle there, so let's find some brick pieces and that shape. We'll get that in. There it goes. And then we need some more of that pink and get that edge in that escaped us. Okay. The only part left to do is the roof here and the roof there and that little triangle piece, but I want that to stand out. So I'm thinking if I do it in this nice turquoise color, that'll be really pretty. Oh, and we have a piece right there that we can use to do that. So let's tear that off. I think that's called the gable, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the gable that comes over there? Is that what it's called? You get the top of the building. It has that nice sharp pointy spot up there. I know what it looks like as far as the wood that you use, but those beams, those triangle beams, but I'm like, what is it called? Okay. I need a little piece because there's a hole there. We don't want that to show, to not have the turquoise in there. It's going to look a bit weird. Just a big hole. Stick that down. Okay. And there was another one of those little windows up there. We did a window here, so use that same blue and kind of tear myself a circle. Should be interesting. Let's see if we can get a circle shape tearing. Oh, not too bad. It helps having like sharp fingernails. I don't have much, but the little bit that I have are nice and sharp, so I'm just digging my nail in and tearing it off. But that looks like a pretty good circle, like the up in the loft little window that you can look out of. There it is. Whoops. Stick that down. Okay, and there was another window sort of somewhere there. Let's see. Oh, there it was. There's another window right about there. So get us another little square. I don't know if you can hear my rooster out there. That's Colonel. That's who this picture is representing. This is our Colonel rooster that is on the farm. So on our little farmstead here. That's Mr. Colonel. I have to still finish that up. Started that yesterday with my partner in crime, Tracy Madgen, on the Duoing Tracy's. It's our little Tuesday group that we have, and we paint and banter and get up to all the antics that we get up to. So you're welcome to look for us. We're on Facebook under the Duoing Tracy's. And we have a YouTube channel as well. She's on here too. She's the stenciling queen. Oh my gosh. She does the most amazing stenciling stuff. It's so pretty. I wish I could stencil. I realized that yesterday when she was showing me how to stencil when we were doing the rooster and we were stenciling the background. I was like, oh goodness, I definitely need more practice stenciling. Who here likes to stencil? Oh, I'm so glad, Andrea, that you love this. You can't see what I'm doing? Oh no. Can you see it? Let me know if you can see what I'm doing. I don't know. One person is saying they can't see. Hopefully it's not my camera. Hopefully you actually can see. Let me know. Camera looks like it's working, like it's focused in. You can't see it, Rita? You can see it? It was good? Now you can't see it? Oh, goodness. What is going on? Oh, you couldn't see the top. Oh, sorry. Okay, is that better now that I've moved it in? is a little bit loud. Excuse the thing. Okay, so we just put in this window and this window, so you can see it now. Oh, good. Everyone can see it fine. Sorry. Hopefully you can see it fine. I know I can see on this camera. That one looks okay. This looks pretty good. So hopefully you can see it. But yeah, we were just putting in the walls. So I did some reclaimed wood looking here, some brick on this side, some more wood design for, I think it's called the gable. And now we're going to put this roof on and this roof on. Okay, hopefully you could see it well. I need to stick down this little piece that is standing up here. Get some more glue down in the Mod Podge down in this edge here. And then, like I said, got this dandy little scraper. Couldn't believe it, for $1 at the Dollar Tree. I'm sure it's like the knockoff Cricut tool, because I have one for my Cricut that's kind of got a little bit of a rubber feel to it. This is a hard plastic, but my Cricut one is a little rubbery, and I use it when you're weeding and you're scraping out your design to get it to stick better. So, get these air bubbles out. So it helps sometimes, especially when you're Mod Podging, to have something underneath your canvas, because as you can see, you've got a hollow here and canvas is stretchy. So you will sometimes get these little bubbles if you don't have something hard underneath that you can press the air out with. So just use my hand for now because I lost my little piece of wood that fits so nicely inside there. I don't know where it went. It disappeared on me. Okay, so I want a nice contrast for this roof. So let's have a look. That might be too much flowers. So let's see what we have that could contrast nice and distinguished look for that roof. How about this one? I think we can use this one for that, for both roofs, and then it'll have some continuity to it. That'll be good. Okay, so I want my roof to go all the way to this edge and to that edge. So I'm just going to tear this triangle piece off first. That'll give me that sharp edge. And then I'm going to want this edge at the top. So just score it with your fingernails. So that'll at least give you a good line. And it will tear easier and straighter. And then just little tears at a time. And you can control your tear line better that way. That's about, look at that, straight as you can get. We'll get this little sharp piece off there using your fingernails and super sharp. Like that should do it. Okay, and then my overhang is about to there. So give me that edge too. Again, score it, tear it down. That. Tore too fast there for a minute. Okay, and then I need this side to be a triangle as well, off, because we are doing this piece here. So kind of want that's the piece we're going for. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, huh? And that makes that nice little overhang roof. Okay. I'm just going to get a bit of water. It's, like I said, 70 odd degrees out here. So my Mod Podge is drying a little bit up here. I need to make it a little bit wetter so it sticks better. Okay. And there's the roof. I like how that turned out. That looks good. And we'll use that exact same piece on the other side for continuity of the roofing materials so that it actually looks like a roof. Here's my scraper. Make sure it sticks down pretty good. There, wow. Oh, perfect. I'm glad that it's all good again and you can see. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Okay, let's see if we've got a big enough piece for here. If we don't, we can add on. So whatever how it would look. Definitely want to have that triangle meet. So let's tear that edge off. Thinking. The actual putting down the papers and tearing the papers is the part that takes the longest time in these mixed medias. The background is super quick and the accents are super quick, but tearing up all these papers does take a bit of time. So do make sure that you have a little bit of time and some patience as you're working on this. Okay, so make sure I've got the shape right. Okay, yeah, nearly boo-booed that. So that's a good thing to have my tracer, is make sure, because that angle is like that. And then it switches up on us and we have that angle from the bottom. So I want to make sure we have both those angles in there. So good thing to have your tracer on hand. Make sure you get those pieces in. You can always tear it down, and of course you can add on. Nelly said you can't add on, but you can add on, because okay, get rid of that piece and that piece, and then it will meet up perfectly at the top. There. And get rid of that little piece. Just get a good smidgen of this stuff on there. Oops. My chicken's singing the egg song now. Can you hear the chickens at all? I'm off the screen again. Okay. Oops. Yes, I see where I was off the screen. Sorry. Okay, so all I did was put the Mod Podge down there, and then I pieced my piece to fit the roof. So you didn't miss anything. Thank you for letting me know. The angle of my camera, with it not wanting to stream on two cameras for me so that I could see what you are all seeing, makes it hard because I got to look up this way at you guys. It's a hard angle to see what is going on, what your view is. So thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that very much. Okay. So now I need this little triangle piece in there. And I want to kind of match to the grain. So I think I will do that. Then fill in all the little gaps that I have with these long strips. Oops. And that should fill in that little corner there. Maybe a tiny little bit more. Okay. Get that to stick down good. Okay, the roof is now on. Felt like a barn raising. Did we just do a barn raising? I would love to. Oh my gosh, it is my dream one day to actually go to one of those traditional barn raisings that they do like in Amish country. I don't know if you've ever seen those, or do one when I get my land. I want to move to 180 acres in Texas somewhere. That's my plan. Do a barn raising. So there's the barn. The barn is now complete. Let me see if I can hold this up. There what? There's the barn. Nice old rustic barn like you see on the side of the road when you're driving. Oh, I'm so glad that you like this piece. All right, so put the camera back down again, and now we'll fill in some clouds with acrylic paint and some of the greenery, and then we will put some paper flowers in to make some sunflowers. All this bottom, whoops, let's see if I can hold the camera and the canvas, but this bottom over here is going to get filled with paper flowers and painted flowers, a mix, and some greenery, and then we'll have some clouds at the top. So in case you didn't see on these cameras, let's put that one down. Okay, there what? Hopefully you guys can see. Okay, so we're going to have some sunflowers in the bottom here and some painted flowers, and then at the top we're going to have some clouds and some greenery over here. So that's what that is on our tracer. Okay, let's get that into that. Get rid of our sticky gluey parts and our papers for now. Put that up. And I'll bring out my paint palettes. Okay. I'm just going to use some Caribbean blue. Some white. Oops. And some ultramarine. That'll get me my sky. And then some Kelly green. And some sunny day. Bright yellow. So we're going to have sunflowers. We need some yellows, definitely. And some King's Gold. Those are my 3 favorite yellows for sunflowers. And I'm thinking I probably need a light green, so let's get some spring green in here too. Yeah, that'll be a nice light one. That'll be good to get some color. And jack-o'-lantern orange is always my favorite. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Jack-o'-lantern orange. That should help with the sunflowers. If we need more, we will add to it. But for now, we're just going to get those clouds in. So we want to take this light blue and just where the edges that we had drawn in, I'm just going to touch it down just really randomly. So we want a really smooth edge, and then just go with the white. Kind of just, you want it to be very random. Just a touch of this blue just on the very lines that we had drawn in. And if you do that just gently, the colors will blend but not mix completely, and it will look like clouds. I'm just blobbing the paint on, just dabbing my brush and letting the paint sit. If you find you have too much paint on there, too much color, you can just wipe it off with your paper towel and just touch on the white again. But the less it's blended, the more it will actually look like clouds. So we just want the hint of a cloud look. You don't want to be too bold. And you can even go with some straight white as well. Because you've already got blue on your brush, it'll blend in. I'm going to go just behind the barn. Just brush up with the dry brush so that it just blends in really smoothly. Just blend my brush backwards and forwards gently, and it'll blend that color in. Get a little bit of blue into that white cloud. Get a little bit more of this Caribbean color. Really love this color. There. Nice soft clouds. We can just bring it down a dry brush, just very roughly on the edges like that, just to get your sky coming through. So you get rid of a little bit of your gold, but not too much. Like there. So we want it nice and rough looking. If you get it onto your paper, you can just wipe it off with a wet wipe, or if it's still super wet, you can wipe it like I did with the paper towel. There. I think I'm happy with that. It looks like clouds and looks like sky. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I think I like how that is turning out. Sorry, I had to hold it up so I could see it for a minute. Okay. I'll clean off my brush and we can do the foliage on the bottom. Actually, I think I'm going to change brushes. So this time I'm just going to use this round edged brush because I think that would make this foliage the best, because we want it to actually look like the bushes have come all the way up onto the barn like that. So let me move my painting so you can see it. So I'm just going to use this brush's round edge so that it makes it look like the foliage. It'll give you your nice bushes, and then come in with the lighter green and let them just blend together. I want to cover this paper nicely because these bushes are in front of the paper here. And then just dry brush it gently between the two so it blends down but doesn't take away your nice edge that you got over here. We'll do that on this side too. And you can just put in however many that you want to put in, because we're going to put some sunflowers on here. So you don't need a lot of greenery because a lot of it's going to get hidden by the sunflowers once we get them in. But we do just want to make sure that we blend it up to the paper so it covers that edge of the paper and looks like the bushes are growing in front. Now one more bush down here, and then I think I'm good to go. Start putting those flowers in. I'll just blend this green on the bottom a little bit. Just dry brush it, blend a little bit there. So this, don't want to take away the edge of your top of your bush here, but we do want to get a little bit of green over there so it shows through under the sunflowers. There we are. Nice and rough. Let's look how that looks like bushes. We just played with it nice and rough. Okay. I'll lift it up a bit more so you can see. Whoops, I'm so sorry. This camera today. Oh, one of these days I'll have my cameras cooperate with me and stop their nonsense. When that is, I don't know. But we just want to focus on the bottom here now. And we're going to put in some big, bold, beautiful sunflowers. So I'm going to pull out all my papers that have some yellows in for me. So that one has a nice yellow in it. Let's try and make sure I don't get it where it's wet. This one is a pretty yellow too. What else we've got? Oh, I like that one because of the butterflies, and we used it above. Sorry, excuse my little Shih Tzu. She can hear the kids playing outside, and so she thinks she needs to tell them to be quiet. Little does she know, she's making more noise than they were making. Ha, Jujus. More noise than they were making. Yes. Way more noise. Naughty dog. Yes, naughty dog. Naughty, naughty dog. Okay. So to do the sunflowers, it's pretty simple. We're just going to take whatever colors that you really like, and we're going to tear like these teardrop type shapes. We just want a whole bunch of those. So just take your paper and make them all different lengths, different widths works. Don't make them too drastically different, but kind of we're going for this round, like pinwheel kind of effect. Okay, that's enough probably for a nice big sunflower over here. Whoops. So back to needing our Mod Podge instead of our paint. Where did we put it? Oh, there. That's where I did. Like, where did it go? I'm going to start with one big one right over here on this corner. Can you see? Yes. Okay. Next, let it hang over the edge. Get your basic shape down. And we're just trying to make like a pinwheel sort of shape, just getting them together on there. And if your paint is wet, like this green is a little bit wet, I don't want to touch the paint too much. It's better to let it dry. But since we're on a time limit, which I've already gone over, I want to make sure that I show you how to do the flowers. So I'm going just to the very edge over here of the board. Oops. And what makes this really pop is once we put the black lines in, it like makes it stunning. Like that's the key touch to all of it, is once you've got your papers on, as soon as we get those black outlines in, it just absolutely makes it pop. And we're just filling in each of these little petals, making our pinwheel all the way around, balancing out the colors. I've got some blues on that side, so I'll put this blue piece this side, a little bit more yellows on that side. Fill in this little spot here. And I'm going right over the edge of the canvas. That's totally fine. You just let it blend down the side. Looks really nice when you have your canvas hanging up and the edges have a bit of the design on too. And I think we need one coming over here by this window. Really neat. Okay, so we've got one big one on this side. And let's do I'm just going to tear them again, tear these narrow strips. This one didn't tear as well as that other one did. I want this sunflower to be a little bit smaller, so that's going to be my average strip size. Jules! Dogs. Anybody have little yappy dogs like me? Oh my goodness, I swear. Little yappy dogs. Jules, come on. Stop being so naughty. Stop being so naughty. You're going to get your brothers and sisters in big trouble with me. Jules. It's roughly all about the same size. And I'm trying to keep them mostly out of the yellow parts of this paper, since I want to hint at them being sunflowers. Jules, over here. Stop it. Being naughty. Get a couple of smaller pieces out of there, just in case we need those. I think we have enough now to make probably 2 sunflowers, hopefully. That's the plan. Get one going this way. Again, we're just making a pinwheel shape. If you get your main kind of pieces on, then you can go in and fill in between and get the rest of your petals in. And it works out best if you get the main shape going, like a little star. Oops. I think that looks good. Maybe one more little piece over there. I don't think I want it as big as this, so I'm going to tear off a little bit. Let's have a look. Oh, that fits in pretty good. And you just got to eyeball it until you're happy that you feel like you've got a good, even design. So that's 2 in there, and I think I want another big one on this corner, and then I'm going to paint a couple in. So we use this yellow paper with the rose petals on it, and we used this one with the blue on it. Yeah, we used those 2. And then we have this one in this pack. So I think I'll make this one the smallest sunflower. So I'll just do tiny petals, that size. Make them even smaller, in fact. Get a rough idea of how many I need. Make my pinwheel as I go. So let me know what other farm animals that you think that you would like to see. So we have a cow already, we have a bull, we have a rooster, now we have the barn, and there's a donkey in the works and a pig in the works. So let me know what you would like to see next. A pig or a donkey or sheep or a horse. Because we've got a couple going so far. And as I said, I use these barnwood papers, but this looks so adorable in boho, like retro kind of papers, the big spots and stars and red and black, bold and white kind of bold colors that my friend Tracy from the During Tracy's, she hers is all in those retro bold colors, and it turned out so cute. I just love the way her rooster turned out, because we made the roosters together yesterday, and I did mine in these barnwoods and she followed along with my design, and she made it in the boho kind of retro colors, and it's, oh my goodness, it really turned out pretty. So yeah, I'm just gonna tear up as many of these little ones as possible, and then I'll have enough torn up. To do a couple of these flowers on the bottom here. Okay, there should be quite a few in there. Get a bit more Mod Podge on here. Okay, let's make sure that, yep, you guys can all see, because this is where I'm going over here now. And maybe one more little one in this corner with these yellows. Just make sure my edges are nice and pointy. I want them to really look like petals. So you just want that kind of shape. Like you're just making a really funky looking triangular, elongated triangular shape. Whoops. Put the first one down. I kind of like to try and make like a star shape at first. So I'll go that way, like the first 4 corners to kind of get my shape in. So I know where to put the rest. Just make sure you overlap in the middle. You want them to join together. They don't have to be perfect because we're going for a super whimsical design. So, oops. So you see how that's just coming together like a weird star shape. Almost looks like a starfish. And just filling in as I go. Get them to overlap a little bit, then they will look like they're growing in the garden. I'll get another one on this side to fill in there. Let's see, that looks good. I like the black edges on this particular paper. It has the black barnwood grooves in it. It's making it look like a real sunflower. Get another one over there. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? Whoops. Throw all my pieces off. What do you think? Joel. Okay. And I think we'll do that one over here. And then I'll do some outlining. So you can see how it all pops as soon as the outlining comes in. And then I think we're done. So, sorry, I went over a little bit longer than I wanted to. I was trying to keep this under an hour to an hour and a half at the most. But when you are doing mixed media and tearing papers, sometimes it is not quick. I'm just filling in and that star shape, just each petal, filling in the gaps. See how there's a gap there, so I think I want another one there. Get a nice little skinny piece in there. If it's not skinny enough, you just tear it up, make it skinnier. Whoops. Move it around where I want it. I think there needs to be another one over here. There's a little gap. And that one looks like a leaf shape already, so not a leaf, a petal. What am I talking about? A leaf shape. I've forgotten my biology already. Those are petals, not leaves. there. I think it does for balance. Probably need one more just over here. So we'll get another one in here quickly. Oops, that doesn't have a round edge. A bit of a pointy edge. Otherwise it's square. It's not going to look like a petal. That works. You just get your star shape in first, the basic star shape, and then build around from there. So there's my kind of basic, oops. Yes. And it can go over the edge. It looks really pretty, like I said. It goes over the edge, and you're looking at the edge of the canvas and you see the papers continue off the edge. It looks really nice. So, take this one a little bit more pointy. Put that into this gap. That'll look really nice there. I think we need another one over here to overlap there. This looks pretty good. So those pieces look like they are touching each other. I think it needs another one there. Make this a little bit more pointy. That'll fit in there perfectly. I kind of feel like it needs a skinny one over here. Maybe even a little one there. Hang this one over the edge too. Oh, that looks much better. There. Throw those in there. Okay, so there's the 3 on that side and the 2 on that side. Done. We'll just give this Mod Podge a little second to dry. Spread it around a bit. Okay. Now we can do our outlining in the black and a few little yellow flowers. So I'm just going to take a round brush like this, and I'll take my yellows. I'll take my brightest yellow first, and I want to load my brush up, and then I just want to do the same thing that we did and just make a little star. Nice and rough with the bright yellow first, and then you can take the pale yellow on top and go in the middle, and a little white dot in the center. You pull that in. Nice and thick. I know it's super thick, but it will dry so pretty. You can take some pale ones, just make your brush nice and thick, and make your star pattern. Let the brush do the work for you. You can even touch some of the orange like that. Go over the top while your brush and your paint is nice and wet. Maybe some bright yellow in the middle for this dot. Okay. Just, if your brush has different colors on it, even better. As long as they like the colors look good together. Like this yellow and orange together looks really pretty. A little orange one. Let's make a star pattern. Oh, and I messed that one up a little bit. So go back, form your star pattern. And again, don't worry if it doesn't come out perfectly, because the outlining when you do that is what is going to make it absolutely pop. I want a little bit of black for those centers once they dry up a little bit, and for my outlining. So we'll get that on our palette. But we just want to make a couple of these little yellow flowers. In the different yellows. I just got 3 yellows on my palette. A pale yellow, a bright yellow, and then I've got King's Gold, which is a nice deep kind of mustardy yellow. I just really like how that color shows up. And then some orange. It's really pretty too. I'll turn this better for you so you can see this side when I come up here. So you're just touching down and making like a star shape. Let your brush do the work for you. So keep your point to the edge, to the outside, and your flat part of your brush. So that's the top of your petal, and this is the whoops, that's the top of your petal there. When you flatten it out, you see how it actually makes a petal shape for you. So when you flatten it out, it makes a really neat little petal shape for you. And if you got lots of colors, like I've got all the oranges and yellows together, it doesn't matter that they're blending together, because it actually makes it look like a real flower. And we don't have to go back as much and add extra color if it's already on there. If you let them dry a little bit, you can actually get the colors to layer on top. See how pretty that is, because it was starting to dry already. So you can get that star pattern. I might actually do a couple of little white ones too. Those should really pop. And again, I'm just letting the brush do the work for me. Just gently letting it touch down. The sharp point is the top of the petal, and the base of your brush is the middle of the flower. So just move your hand around. And that will make your little flowers. And the more you push your brush down, the wider your petals will be. So if you just go very lightly, they will be thinner petals, but if you really push down, there will be wider petals. Just move your brush around as much as possible to create your little flowers. And if you've got lots of colors on your brush, then get like 3 or 4 different colors, it'll make them. I'm going to try and make some big ones. So really push my brush down. There, look at that. Get some more color on the top. Go in. Let's see. What do you think? Do you think we have enough little flowers on there? We have a little couple there. Let's see. Hold it up and see. I think that's enough for now. I might come back later after I've looked at it and decide that I need a few more. But for now, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to clean that brush off because I want to use that brush with the black to outline now. And this is where it totally pops. So let me move this camera up so you can see the top of the painting, because that's where we are going to be working now. Okay, so we're just going to take the black and we're just going to rough outline. You don't want to close everything off. You just want to create this idea of shadow and lines. And there was like a window that was inside of this. So just to create that around the window. Kind of sharp corners are good to emphasize if you've lost them under the tears. You see how that's just really making the barn roof pop now. Okay. And then I think I want some little birds in the sky. I'm just gonna put those in. 3 little birds in the sky. And I think I might get some whimsical cloud shapes going. And I'm letting kind of the dry brush do the bottom edges like that. There. I think that looks pretty good. So there's my clouds. And I want this bottom of this shade to show up a little bit more. Okay. Then we'll move it down so you can see this. And this is really going to make the bushes pop. And you want thick, solid black lines, but you want to definitely show some of those edges. And then on these sunflowers, if you accentuate some of these edges, it really, really makes them stand out. And sunflowers have that middle part. So I'm just going to make a little bit of black center. And I'll show you what I'll do to make it look more like a sunflower. You're just accentuating the leaf shapes. Just with the tip of your brush, the very edge. I'm going to go off the edge there because I like those edges. And then the center of the sunflower, I'm just very roughly doing that. I'm going to come back in and make those show up even more. Not perfectly outlining them, you're just going around. I'm going off the canvas where I went off. So I like showing that part. And then these little flowers, you get a little bit of an accent and a black dot in the middle on some of them. Don't have to do all of them, but they kind of really look pretty. You want to just loosely, roughly outline them with the tip of your brush. Whoops, I got a little bit more on there than I wanted. You see how that makes them really pop. And you can really show the petal shapes. That one needs a black dot. Just keep the paint just on the edge of your brush like that. Keep your brush nice and sharp. And then you'll be able to get these fine lines. Some of them have rounds, some of them have points. So, then, I told you I was going to show you what I'm going to do with the sunflowers. So I'm going to take yellow and dot in the black as well. So it looks like the seed part of the sunflowers. And sometimes I'll use one of those little stylus dotting tools to do this because I do mandlas as well. So I like to use the dotting tools. I'll just take a couple of different yellows and make it really thick and dotted on there. So when it dries, you'll see all the different yellows come through. And then it really will look like the seeds. Okay. And I think I want some grasses. So again, I'm going to take that edge of my brush and I'm just going to sweep up. I want it a bit thicker than that. My paint's drying out a little bit. Mix a little bit of water in there. And just that flicking up motion will create the grass for me. Because in my other paintings we have the grass at the bottom too, so that'll just lines flicking up, make it look like there's grass on the bottom. You can have some grass going over some of the sunflowers, and that way they'll look like they're behind the grass. Just fill that edge in so it looks like those blades of grass are coming up from there and not just floating in the middle of the sky. Oops, stick a little black in there, which I'm not too bothered about. I might mix a little bit of this yellow with this green. Get myself a yellowy green just to get a little bit of an accent going there. And I think we are done. This is pretty much it. A little bit of black with this green to make a darker green. Again, gives it some accent. And that is it. I am done. So that is our painting today. So I'll put it back up. So, alrighty. And then I can show it to you, whoops, if we can not have a camera malfunction again. Okay. Hopefully that stays up. Yes. And there she is. That is the barn to go with our cow. Oops. There we are. There's the cow. We have that cow and our barn. Tell me what you all thought. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you would like to see some more of these different mixed media images, let me know what animals you'd like to see to go with our barn farm theme that we're doing. So there's the cow. There's one style of the cow. And then we have, that was one style of the cow. Then we have this style that I did before. It's a little bit more simple. So, and we have the rooster that is coming along, just needs to get his tail in and his outlines, and then I'll have him up as well. But you see how they complement each other and would go really pretty in somebody's kitchen, the country farmhouse. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed being with you guys. I will be back again on the 15th. The 15th of May is actually my birthday, so I will be back on my birthday, and I'll probably have a really cool giveaway for that day and some different happy mail that I'll be sending out. So let me know what you would like to have as far as the animals go, and the link to follow me on my biz page, on my ArtStudio page, is in the description and it is the Cat's Whiskers Art Studio. And again, I'm Tracy Abbey, and thank you so much for joining me today. I really had fun. Sorry it went a little bit longer than I should have. Oops. I don't get in trouble. But I really did enjoy it, and I love mixed media, and I love sharing the gift of art with people, and I hope that I inspired you to create something. If you do, please, please, please share it and tag me, Tracy Abbey. I would love to see what you create and be able to congratulate you and celebrate with you on what you have put together. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and many blessings to you all. Bye. Bye.